Sleavehead Reigns has been a name that sent shivers down people's spine in the lightweight division for a long time, till Robert Densley came along, but still, nonetheless, he's at the top of the class, but he's fighting another pretty tough kid.
$1.50. Josh Buck. Both these guys, I've been in this weight class. I know what it's like to fight in this 155-pound weight class. These two are some of the toughest guys that have ever stepped in this ring.
That was a long time ago, Johnny.
It was a long time ago, but I did it, and I would hate to fight these guys because both these two, it's power and skill and dynamics, and both these guys have it. That's why I think this fight would be a great main event, Mike, on any other night. But I can't wait to see it.
All right, it's a main event in my book. Hey, and people always wondered why Josh Buck comes out in those masks. If you saw his hair, you know why. He's got to cover up that goofy-looking hair. It's lightweight, no holds barred. Check it out.
Yeah, well, me and Buck, you know, back in the day when we both of us kind of first started fighting, we trained together off and on. His club, the Ogden Fighting Alliance, would come up and train with our guys up in Bountiful. So, you know, there's no bad blood between us. You know, we're friends, and, you know, we got a little bit of a history together, but, you know, I want to fight and I want to win. He wants to fight and he wants to win, so we're both going to step up to the plate and see what happens.
Joshua Buck, always a presence. We see you with the mask every time. Maybe tell the people at home a little bit about why Josh Buck is going to beat Sleavehead tomorrow night.
Training hard, train up at OFA. We've got the best team around.
I'd agree. The Ogden Fighting Alliance got some good crew out there. Josh is a really good wrestler. He's a really good fighter, but I think I'm a lot better all around. And I just hope we have a good fight tomorrow. I got nothing bad to say.
These guys, they respect one another. In fact, they're friends. They're going to be fighting tomorrow night for the NHB lightweight bout.
I want to call out my next opponent, Chris Wilkerson. You're going down, buddy.
Chris Wilkerson, you're going down.
All right, all the talking's done. We're going to get things started here. Once again, we're at the E Center. What a great venue for fights. And just a reminder, the finals of round 11 are just around the corner. They're also at the E Center. You want to get your tickets at all Smith's Tix locations. But this is the third installment of the finals of round 10. And what a great round it's been. Johnny Ritchie, here comes Josh Buck, $1.50 into the ring, and he's sporting that mask there.
Yeah, he wears that mask, Mike, as I think is a homage to the backyard wrestling days. Both him and Donny Reigns have a little bit of that backyard wrestling background, and they're definitely going to get in there, but I don't think they're going to be doing wrestling tonight.
No, they've evolved from the backyard wrestling genre, as you said, but these guys are both great submission artists and great tacticians. Actually, Josh Buck was a collegiate wrestler and made his way into the college ranks, and so we expect to see good things out of him. But Donny Reigns is a submission artist from the Walt Bayless Jiu-Jitsu system, trained under Justin Ellison, and we look to see really good things out of him.
You know, both these guys are very tough, Mike. I've had a chance, opportunity to roll around with both of them, and I tell you, Donny Reigns is technical, and he will catch you if you give him the opportunity. And Josh $1.50 is small, he's compact, and he's strong, Mike. He's tougher than nails.
Well, Josh Buck has definitely made a splash on the division this round. He came in and beat Tommy Gunn, he beat Brian Perrine, he's beat all the top dogs in the lightweight division. Now he's going to face off against Donny Reigns.
You know, not only did he beat him, Mike, he punished those guys. I saw those, we were there live. He really worked those guys over, and I think he wants to get back down with Donny Reigns.
No, he made light work of those guys, as you said. He went right through them, and but he knows he's not going to go right through Donny Reigns, but they feel like they've got a game plan that they're going to beat Donny Reigns. I talked to Rich Layton, Josh Buck's trainer, earlier, and they feel like they can beat this kid. I don't know. Donny Reigns has just been around too long, and he's just too well-versed on his feet and on the ground.
He's a weathered veteran, Mike. He's been there. He's fought those fights. In fact, he's had some tournaments out of state, in other states, fighting against some pretty tough competitors.
Well, there
some
you go.
He won and some he lost.
You see Josh Buck, though, that's his strength. That's his strong point. He's a collegiate wrestler, as we said, and what a beautiful double leg takedown to get things started. Now he's going to find himself in Donny Reigns' guard. Let's see what he can do from there. If you camp out there all night long, eventually Donny Reigns is going to catch you.
He'll catch you with something, Mike, whether it be an arm bar or a choke. If not a reversal, Mike, he'll definitely work. He's not going to just lay on the bottom, Mike, and take punishment from Josh. As you can see, he's the busy fighter, it looks like, right now.
Well, he's going to be busy on bottom. He's not just going to lay there, but Josh Buck is an extremely strong kid. Everybody that's grappled with him say he's phenomenally strong for the weight class. But it seems to me right now he's content to just hang out in his garden. It kind of reminds me of a strategy you and I had when you fight Alberto Castillo. Let's take him down. The crowd sees you on top, and they're going to view you as the victor. I hope he's not content to stay that way because it's going to be a long, boring matchup.
It will be boring, Mike, but I don't think that's the way it's going to work out. I think that Donny, you see him continue trying to climb up the body, look for an arm bar, look for arm locks. He's always busy. He's a transitional fighter. He moves from one move to the other. He back and forth, and that might frustrate, I think, Buck and a half a little bit.
It makes it very difficult, though, when you're sitting back in somebody's guard like that, and you don't really leave yourself exposed. It's difficult for somebody to try to put a submission on. Donny Raines is really going to have to work for something here, but you can see he is. He's trying to isolate arms. He's throwing punches, rabbit punches here and there, trying to open things up, but again, it looks as though Josh Buck is content to get the quick takedown and just kind of look busy on top and stall out a win.
I think that's what he's going for, Mike. You're right. It is a good strategy. But the people at home might think this is a little bit of a boring fight. But what they don't realize is this is a chess match.
Well, absolutely.
Like, this is an absolute chess match.
He knows that Donny Raines' strength is to submit. And so why put yourself in a position to be submitted by him? It's actually a brilliant move. But let's see if he can execute it for 3 rounds. That's going to be the tough thing to do.
You're right about that, Mike, because we know it does. Being on top there, being in that position, you're not just laying there camping out. You're throwing shots. You're getting busy. And it looks like both these guys are actually pretty busy for being on the ground.
Yeah, and you see Donny has tried that to isolate that left arm several times. He's been working on that most of the round here. He's also, while he's doing that, he's distracting the upper body. He's also going down low and looking for a hip high, some type of a reversal. Not able to get it. I think Josh Buck has seen that before. He's going to stay back and keep his hips back and not give that reversal up quite so easily.
People at home are watching those shots wondering, but those shots really don't bother you too much. They don't hurt. They're not power shots. They're more of an annoyance than anything, right, Mike?
You might feel them a little bit the next day where you may have a little soreness on the side of the head, but it's not going to do anything debilitating to you. You just don't have enough energy or enough power to get the velocity there. And you see Donny Raines try to go for a quick submission, but again, the savvy Josh Buck just sat back with 3 seconds left here. This is the way we're going to find this one winding up in the first round here. Not a real super action-packed round for the fans at home, but again, it's a very technical match, and these guys are looking to win the match.
They sure are, Mike. It's technical.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. We're here at the E Center once again. Donny Raines and Josh Buck and a half mixing it up in a lightweight championship matchup. You see here in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Maverick Country Stores, where Josh Buck got the early takedown and kind of rode out the first round there. You kind of have to give him the nod in the first round, although both men were very busy on the ground there, Johnny Ritchie.
They were very busy, and I think, Mike, you're going to see more of that. Josh Buck has an unstoppable shot. I think Donny's been practicing and defending against that, but Josh Buck has one of these double leg takedowns that you just can't stop.
What he does that's so pretty to watch is that he puts series together. He'll shoot in. If he doesn't quite have it, he'll change to a single, change to a double. He'll switch up like he's doing right now. You see an underhook there. He's trying to switch to a single, switch to a double, and until he finally gets your hips up off the ground and gets that takedown. He just forces his way in there. It's almost impossible to stop.
As he was shooting in, Mike, I saw Donny looking for that chokehold. It looks like he was going for that guillotine. I don't think he would have had it, but he was going for it, definitely, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, you know, Donny Raines, I know he's been working on his stand-up, and he really wants to be impressive on his feet, but you're not going to be able to do that with a guy like Josh Buck, because Josh Buck just doesn't give you time to work your stand-up.
He doesn't, Mike. Being a college wrestler, he's aggressive. He goes after you. He doesn't sit in the corner and wait for you because he wants to be in the power position. He wants to put you on your back, and he's done that to Donny the past 2 rounds, it looks like.
But Donny's very comfortable on his back. He's fought from there. He's very comfortable from there. He's looking to isolate an arm once again, but looks like they're going to go a little bit too far out of bounds for the liking of Ethan Andrews. Ethan's going to get him started back up on their feet, and I like to see this. I think that first round, these guys were able to kind of camp out on the ground for far too long, and this time Ethan gets them back going up on their feet. Josh Buck tries to throw a big right hand and follows it with a nice takedown.
It looks like he caught him. You think he caught him right there,
Actually,
Mike? It looked like it rocked Donny a little bit.
He caught him and kind of sent Donny back on his heels just a little bit and then followed up with a nice takedown. That was actually where we expected Donny Raines to be able to do the damage, and Josh Buck comes in and does his thing with a big right hand.
Well, Mike, what do you think as far as takedowns? Well, we up 3. If we were scoring this on a wrestling scale, what would be the score right now?
6 to nothing. But, you know, these guys are, again, they're executing a game plan. They have something in mind that they want to do, and it looks to be that Josh Buck wants to take him down and just kind of camp out in the guard, as we mentioned before. Donny Raines, you can really start to feel the fatigue in your legs by holding someone in your guard and holding it tight for so long. We saw when he fought Robert Densley, he just ran out of gas. Holding your legs together for that long can really be fatiguing.
They sure can, Mike, and that's the thing. But both these guys are they're in shape. They work out hard. They run. They train. These guys aren't getting there and just throwing fists. They definitely do have a game plan, and they are in shape to go 3 rounds if that's what it has to be.
Well, that answers the question: does Josh Buck wear boxers or briefs? We just saw he's wearing boxer briefs there, but he's losing his pants here. And Ethan Andrews, who's always been good about coming in and pulling those things back up to save the crowd from seeing that the moon is full tonight, but. Right now, there's really not a whole lot of action to talk about because we've seen this in round 1 and it's continuing in round 2. They're both kind of just camping out there. And again, for those of you at home, this isn't the most exciting match to watch, but this is a strategic move that Josh Buck entered the ring with. I'm going to take him down, and I'm going to camp out, I'm going to work low, I'm going to work high, and just kind of hang on and not really expose myself to any potential danger.
So in saying that, Mike, do you think that Josh Buck and a half has won these past 2 rounds? What do you think?
You have to give it to him, because really, now see, if Donny Reigns does things like this, that's going to excite the crowd, that's going to show some business, this is what he has to do to steal the round back. You see here at the end of round 2, that may be something that could steal a round for you, but remember, as you said, Josh Buck has taken him down 3 times, so it's hard to overcome that.
I think it might be a day late and a dollar short, Mike. We have one more round to come. Let's see what happens.
You see here in the Crush Combat Can, brought to you by the Keyhole with their new location on Redwood Road there. That was the big right hand we talked about, that it didn't really land all that flush, but it was a solid punch, and he followed it up with a takedown, and it stunned Donny Reigns. So I think combined with the 3 takedowns and that big right hand, you got to give both rounds to Josh Buck.
Well, Donny better step it up right now, Mike. He better get those submissions down and get in there and see if he can lock something on Josh Buck, because that's what he's going to have to do to win this, Mike. If they go all 3 minutes, I think he's going to come out the loser.
Well, first things first, you've got to protect your hips. If you're going to be in a traditional fighter stance, you've got to be able to sprawl out. A guy shoots in on you, you got to protect your hips. And see these guys, they get in this fighter stance and they don't remember that wrestling is going to keep you on your feet. And right there, Josh Buck gets a nice shot in there, but that's what we're talking about. Donny Reigns fights it off, and Josh Buck, as we said, he'll switch to a single. He'll switch to something else and take you down. Donny Reigns doing a pretty good job of fighting him off here. You see him looking for
that arm lock right there, and he's almost had it. All he needs to do is get that right foot around his head, pull him in, and sink that on deep, Mike, and it might be over if he can pull it off.
But Josh Buck's been here before, but this is what Donny Reigns is good at. He switches things up. He's got him into a triangle choke here, and there's a difference between being in a triangle choke and being the one that Donny Reigns puts on you, because he knows how to submit you from here. Josh Buck's in a lot of trouble.
And there he goes, Mike, taps out.
The fight is over just like that. Donny Reigns, we almost wrote him off. We thought he had lost this fight. He had lost round 1, he had lost round 2, but the savvy submission artist, you've always got to be wary of what he can do.
You do, Mike. That's the thing. Josh Buck is great transitional on his stand-up. He'll switch, like you said, from a double leg to single leg, but Donny will switch in submission. He'll go from a triangle choke to an arm bar to a shoulder lock. The guy is phenomenal.
Absolutely. You see here in your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Beehive Bell Bonds, where he did just that. He went from an arm lock to a triangle choke, and that thing is on so tight. And congratulations to Donny Sleavehead Reigns. He's your lightweight champion. What a great match to get things started with, Johnny
Sure
Ritchie.
was, Mike.
Fight interview is sponsored by the Keyhole with their new location at 3460 South Redwood Road.
Donny Reigns, we're over here talking after the match, and you made a very good point. It's tough to overcome a kid with college wrestling experience. That shot is as good as you're going to see anywhere.
Yeah, dude, he's got a real tight position on the bottom. He's really hard to work with.
And once he gets inside, he switches from single to double, and it's almost impossible to fight that thing off.
Oh, he's got great takedowns. I didn't, I wanted to strike a little more. I was a little bit overcautious because I knew he was going to shoot. And then he actually punched me in the second round. I didn't think he was going to even throw a punch, but then he hit me.
He got you there, man. Hey, Donny keeps swearing he's going to hit somebody one day. He's a submission artist, and you know what? Submission did that's what you needed tonight, and that's what won the fight for you.
It works for me, but I will hit somebody eventually.
All right, Donny Reigns, congratulations. A well-deserved victory. Good job.
Tap out.
The combat, don't go anywhere.
I'll make you tap out.